All right. Hello, everybody. Call the meeting to order. It's 5:00. And if someone be so kind as to lead us in a prayer.
Absolutely. Father God, we just thank you for this time, this opportunity to come together as community members, Lord, to discuss community issues. Father God, I ask that you place a hedge of protection around this department and its employees. Lord, I pray all the business decisions we make here tonight, Lord God, will be done in a Christ-like manner. For it's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Go ahead and do a roll call. Mr. Ricks,
Present.
Mr. Kennedy, not here. Mr. Baptiste.
Here.
Mr. Jack.
Here.
Myself, we have a quorum. I'd like to recognize the administration staff, Ms. Rosa from Hearts on Fire, and the folks that work here in the audience. First order of business is go ahead and approve the minutes of January 7th, so I'll need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Do we have any discussion concerning those minutes? I hear none, so let's vote. All in favor of approving the minutes of January 7th, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none, so the motion carries. We got employee recognition, chiefs.
Yes, sir. Mark May, District Chief May, 16 years as of January 26th. Paul Sellinger, 10 years as of February 8th. We also hired a new full-time employee, Jaden Witzel, as of the 26th. And that's all I have right now for employee recognition.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Turn it over to Mr. Raymond, the treasurer's report.
Okay. As of ending 31st, operating account, previous balance was $542,949.19. The average balance was $1,488,011.81. We had 52 debits of $1,077,462.08. 64 credits at $374,374.56. Service charge of $200. Interest paid was $3,401.65. Ending balance was $1,878,240.36. And the sinking fund was mandated of $1,500 balance. We had $1,516.24. Zero credit, zero debit. Service interest paid was 39 cents. Ending balance was $1,516.60. And the money market previous balance was $558,274.94. Average balance was $458,308.24. Credit zero, debit zero, interest paid $1,048.17. Service charge $459,322.11. And the cash balance as of Whitney Bank ending January 31st was $1,848,475.89. And in the sinking fund, we had the same balance as we had before. In the money market, we had $459,323.11. And the treasury bill, $254,059.32. Total checking savings was $2,563,374,099.
And now you can take a breath.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. So we do have a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Any discussions concerning the treasurer's report? I hear none, so let's vote. All in favor of accepting treasurer's report as read, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none, so the motion carries. Just some other notes concerning the financials. On February 5th, we moved $499,404.64 from the operating account to a treasury bill that's will mature on 8/6 of 2026. And that treasury bill is going to be earning us 3.45% interest with an expected earning of $8,595.36. So we've got that. And then we plan to, after tonight's meeting, because we got some other business to take care of to do this, we also plan to open up an investment account in the next few days. The purpose of the account is to build reserve operating fund.
Okay.
Now, just to be perfectly clear, it's not going to be an allocated fund or a designated fund. It's just going to be titled that. The money can be used for anything that we need it to be used for. The investments in that account will be, we will adhere to, the laws governing that. Basically, the only thing that we really can get is treasury bills and CDs. There won't be any stock investments associated with that. I believe there's several Louisiana laws that prevent that. So those are, that's some coming things. We also, Ms. Teresa took off on me. I think, yesterday, we got in, 1 million, just over $1 million in from our Avalorium payment. And
From what now?
that has been $1 million for Avalorium,
Okay.
our tax.
I did.
And that's been moved into the money market.
Okay.
We try to maintain about 600,000 in the operating account. And for the record, let it be known that Mr. Leo's here. Hello, Mr. Leo. All right, chief report. And we lost our chief.
Just in time.
Teresa's back too. Teresa's back too. Do I need to get this gavel out?
You're back. All right, chief's report. Incidents, as of January, 148 incidents. As of to date, call date, 201. I think that's probably up a couple of calls since we did this number today, but 201. 95% of the time we had 2 ALS med units up. And 99.7% of the time we were able to cover those calls. In our district, we had mutual aid given to District 7 for a structure fire, and we received mutual aid because we had 2 med units on one call. I mean, 2 different calls at the same time, but we needed mutual aid because those med units were on the call. Let's see, no particular order, but Med 33 is fully up and in service at this point, that reserve med unit. We got the go from the state Bureau of EMS, so that truck is fully functional. Actually, I think went in service today due to a stretcher issue, so it is in service. We were able to provide ALS coverage for the crew of Eve Parade for District 4. They stepped up their coverage this year as far as EMS and fire, so they had mutual aid partners come in, and we were able to provide a fully staffed ALS unit for them for that parade. District 7, there is a auto aid agreement with District 7 currently. There is a bridge that is being replaced between Highway 434 and the old racetrack. There's a bridge that's being completely replaced. The bridge is coming out and they're putting culverts and then a paved road. That could take up till September-ish to be done. And so we do have an auto aid agreement all the way up to Highway 36 with District 7 at this point. That agreement is fire. We're responding a full complement of fire apparatus. EMS, we're sending a first response unit, and Acadian still handling that area. unless they need us to come in full ALS unit with
I noticed
utility.
you actually had a call, lift assist,
I don't know.
on Horseshoe Island Road.
Okay, yeah, so it might have, yeah, so we are, on Horseshoe Island and all the way up to 36 at this point. They'll still send units, so anybody in that area that has any concern, there should be no gap in response. They're also sending units, District 8 is also sending units to certain calls in that area, and so whoever gets there first will make the call on who to cancel and so forth. So we're providing that service for them so that there's no gap in that coverage area for District 7 north of Horseshoe Island Road. The only other thing I have is we made a purchase of a drone. I was hoping to be able to show it off today, but it did not come in yet. So in the last couple of months, I've seen this as an asset at other departments. They deployed several drones during the Mardi Gras parades in the last couple of weeks. And I think it's a huge value to our department to have that asset. So it was it was very affordable within my limit. So I did some research. I talked to a gentleman last Saturday on the phone for over an hour about nerd stuff and drones. So we're able to get a DJI that does the infrared thermal stuff. It does, it has audio communication. So if we had to fly to an area that was remote and communicate with somebody, we can do that. So with that said, we'll do some training along with that. We did purchase some online training for the Part 107, and I've already filed with the FFA a waiver to operate fully legally within our jurisdiction during emergency situations, without necessarily needing that Part 107. Part 107 is specific to commercial use of the drone, but we can operate in emergency situations under this waiver. We'll come up with some internal training, SOP, SOGs in reference to the drone. And again, there's a specific 107 that we purchase online. It's an unlimited subscription, and it's actually specific to Part 107 and emergency response for the drone. So we'll be deploying that hopefully sooner than later, as soon as it's not even yet. I got my waiver from the FAA and I don't even have the drone yet. So I'm excited about that. And like I said, I think it's a huge asset for our department.
And so it's my understanding that most of your modern, that's probably the wrong word, large departments and even intermediate size departments, that's kind of standard equipment these days, isn't that?
It seems, yeah, Pearl River District 6 or kind of rural have drones already.
Yeah.
I think District 107.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, they have a couple of big boys and they have some of the smaller DGIs.
But they have a lot of protocols you could probably piggyback off of too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thanks for taking care of that, keeping us in the modern
So
age.
we'll show it off hopefully next meeting. And like I said, it should have all the bells and whistles I think that are important for us. This is the latest model that DJI came out with as far as the search and rescue type drone. And so it has room for upgrades and advancements as well. So
Oh, cool.
look forward to that. And I think that's all I have on my side, and the other chiefs have a couple
Okay.
updates. Yes.
Our guys may not know, but didn't we have a vehicle, one of our units get scored?
Yeah, you know what, that is on, it's somewhere on my list. I know I wrote it down. We did have an incident, at Station 33, an employee's vehicle caught fire the other morning. It did cause damage to one of our units, our unit 33. So we're in the process of going through the insurance claim on that. His vehicle unfortunately is fully involved with full loss. But we did have that incident. There's no damage to the station. Like I said, just one unit. It's really cosmetic stuff. So we'll see how the insurance takes care of this. But we did have that incident. Yes.
Okay. And the trucks. Really, it's paint, right?
It's mainly paint. There's some the reflective stickers on it, and some of the emergency lights are melted. So outside of that, nobody got hurt. And the other stuff can be replaced or repaired. So we did have that, yes. And I know I wrote that down. I don't know where I wrote it. Probably. That's all I had. Chief Gill, yeah.
Just want to say, we are hiring, I got a couple of full timers that we're going through the process for. One we put on, he's in rookie school. And we went through the onboarding process, looking to move next one to the stage of interview. So we're looking for to fill a couple of positions that we needed done. And then we're also up with two more part-time paramedics on staff here recently, and they're about to start on board. Probably gonna add one or two more here to our roster. So we're still expanding and trying to fill as we go. Just want to update you on that. That's really all I had for an update.
So, and there was a time, years ago, it was a struggle to get people even interested. Is that how often? I know it's changed, and then we was kind of like we had a waiting list of folks who wanted to work here. How is it now?
Yeah, right now we're still in good position with it, especially with our medics. Like I have handfuls of medics that I'm pretty much just picking which ones that I want to interview at this point. So we have no shortage of medics.
It's
A
good.
little harder on the fire side because we're competing with everybody. Everybody's having problems with it, but we still have interest.
It's good. So credit to the work you guys did evolving the fire department to where it is today.
Newest recruit, Jaden Whitseller. He's the guy that we have in the rookie school at the 11. We started a couple weeks ago. So far, so good. Our two students in paramedic school are still doing well. And the annual LIFT conference in Baton Rouge is next month.
The conference?
It's called the LIFT. It's an instructor firefighter training conference.
Oh.
So right now, I'm working on scheduling everybody wants to partake, a bunch of leadership classes, hands-on stuff, so we're looking forward to doing that again. That's about it.
Good, boss?
That concludes our chief report.
Do we have any questions for the chief?
No.
No? Is there anything that we need to be doing for you guys?
I don't believe so, no.
All right, well, thank you, Michael. Next order is Hearts on Fire, Ms. Rosa.
Yes, we met, for the month, and, we're just throwing around ideas for, something to do in the spring. Something either for Easter or just a spring activity for the community and the firefighters. It being if the rec does something or,
We do,
Just
that we do an
something-
Easter party of some sort.
yeah, to see, I got some phone calls, and so just waiting for callbacks to see how we can be involved with the community for a spring, something for the spring, coming up for the,
Are we gonna be cooking chicken anytime soon?
and that was on the table.
Good.
That was on the table.
That's good. That's good. Keith loves the clean chicken. Anything else, Ms. Rose?
No, that was it.
Anything from Ms. Rose, Hearts on Fire? No? All right, thank you, Ms. Rose. All right, that brings us into some old business. We have a couple of housekeeping resolutions to go through. Decisions are already made on them. Essentially, all we're doing is memorializing the agreements that we made. And the first resolution is going to be 2026, number 6, resolution for EMS debt forgiveness, case number 2. As you guys recall, we had 2 cases that requested debt forgiveness, and we felt that there was just not enough information for us to make decisions on it, so we declined it. And so I'd like to get a motion to accept 2026-06 for debt forgiveness denied for case number 2.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on it? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? I hear none, so the motion carries. It's almost identical case. This just happens to be resolution number 7, EMS debt forgiveness for case number 3, and that was also a denied case. I'd like to have a motion to accept 2026 number 6, debt forgiveness for case 3 denied.
I'll make a motion, stuff, forgiveness, 26-007.
Do we have a second? Any discussions? I hear none. All in favor of accepting resolution 2026 number 6, say aye. Any opposed? I hear none, so the motion carries. Next order of business is strategic planning. I'll turn the conversation over to Chief Geisler.
Yeah, I know, you and I had some conversations regarding strategic planning. You spoke with the bond commission. I cannot talk today. But I am working on some numbers. I do have some preliminary numbers from US Fire as far as apparatus costs. And I also have turned in documents for Station 32 to Chuck Damon with Damon Engineering out of Slidell. It's a company Slidell Fire uses as far as developing their stations. And so I went with that recommendation, and they have our information for that station. So we can get that ball rolling and decide exactly what we need to do with that building again, whether it's a complete tear down and rebuild, or if we can make some advancements to the station as is. So we'll be working with that company to develop a plan for Station 32. And this is all to come up with some roundabout numbers to help us go to the bond commission and hopefully be granted a bond so we can make some of these advancements. And that's kind of the update I had as far as those strategic planning items.
So to follow up with that, I spoke with the law firm. Mr. Schroeder represents Grant Schroeder, and we had a conversation today. And we're gonna start the application process, and essentially all I did was ask for the patent, right? And so it'll be on next month's agenda, where we'll have a resolution to go ahead and move forward with it. There's not a whole lot I can tell you what it would cost. We have to determine how much money it is. Again, we've got some homework for me to do. Talk to Whitney Bank to see if they're gonna be picking up the loan. Various things. You said if they don't, they'll find somebody that pick it up. There is no upfront cost to us. We don't have to out of pocket anything for the legal services. It gets, it's paid for out of the bond, money. He said when we complete the application and turn it back in, looking at about 3 months before we get cash in hand. He said, generally speaking, you got up to 3 years to spend the money. We don't need a tremendous amount of detail. We, enough for a banker to make a decision whether he wants to make the loan. So we could simply say we need emergency apparatus. To us, as an example. They don't need to know that it's a tanker pumper or nothing like that. So same thing with the building, doesn't need floor plans or anything. We have an idea of what it would cost and what generally the intent, right? It's
But all-
now 6 people.
All of that could be combined though, right?
It's all gonna be, it can be combined, we can separate it depending upon, we may explore other avenues for funds. We don't have to put everything in a bond. There's, like Mr. Jackson brought up some conversations that he has had with, credit unions and such as that. And there's folks out there that's willing to loan the money, but this is the first step, right? And once we go through this process and we get approved, it should be easier to go talk to other folks. Because, we know that we passed muster, right? So, good news, right? So we don't have to do, detailed homework about how many tires the truck's gotta have. We just need to know, we need one. Okay? Haven't decided, we have no clue what the bond rate would be. It's all contingent upon what we borrow and for the duration. What else? Under strategic planning, update on the filings for the Louisiana Office of Debt Recovery. So we completed the application process with the state. They have now gave us back all of our identifiers. So we've got everything we needed from the state to start filing. Spoke with Coronas. We had a meeting of the minds. They understand their role in this, and their role is simply to give us the information, anything over 180 days old. Okay, so start pulling it after we get the initial bunch that they've got, once a quarter we'll pull. If that, we find that it's not enough in there to fool with once a quarter, we'll move it to every 6 months. There'll be an addendum to the contract. I'll send it to you, Chad. It's really straightforward. It just outlines the conversation that we had and their fee. And we're gonna maintain the current rate of 8.5%. Now, once we took it in-house, Justin Steele has picked this up, and he's championing this stuff internally. I worked it to a point to where I exceeded my capability, right, over the computer, and I brought it to Justin. And Justin has taken and ran with it, and he's got to have it to where it's an automated system. He puts information into a database, and he hits a couple of keys on the computer, and 100 unique letters come flying out of the printer. He's got it printed, he's got everything available, Chief got in the letterhead that it needs to be on. I think the only thing we're waiting on is envelopes. And we're gonna get some envelopes and some address stickers, I think is what's left to do. And then after that, they go out, the first batch of 60-day letters go. And then we'll see how this process works, to see if there's any refining that has to be done. If not, we'll start printing them by the batches and get them sent. He's got a copy of the letter for anybody who wants to see it, what it looks like. Pass it around. So I'm gonna tell you, I can't compliment him enough. He really saved me a lot of work. You just took it. All right.
Sweet.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Any questions?
Yeah, once all of the initial work has been done, it ought to streamline much easier after that. Yeah, is it?
Yeah, once we get the early things in, now there's several hundreds
Yeah.
of those we have to mill through. But you're right, Adam, is that once we clear this initial bunch out, they should be very few that need to be pursued. And that's because Coronas does a good job of doing the collection. I don't know what the percentage is that falls to past the 180-day mark, but it's not many. And considering in 2 years' time, I think the total is somewhere around $80,000 after 2 years. Yeah, so it's not gonna be many. And I think Ms. Teresa said that if it's not that much, that it's certainly something that she could manage. You know, she says that, 200 of them come through the door. Okay?
So I just got one thing I need to settle in my mind.
Sure.
Get it right. You know, so at any point, is there going to be any debt forgiveness?
There could be debt forgiveness, as long as they follow the process, it's that.
You know, so we still have that opportunity for the less fortunate.
Absolutely. So the state allows us to withdraw any of it at any time. We still have a process that's in place for debt forgiveness. They fill out the application.
So that's all in the letter?
It's not in the
No.
letter.
No?
No.
How are the patients going to be informed of that?
They're getting the letter. They can call the fire department
Okay,
and inquire about their debt.
okay. All right. As long as there's an avenue that can be done.
It can be. The letter that we developed is not something that we developed internally. It's a letter that we pulled from we didn't pull it from the state gave us
Okay,
as a template.
gotcha.
And so that's been vetted pretty good with, I would imagine, the Attorney General's office. So I don't want to get too liberal and start adding to the letter. if they can call, it's very clear. Mike is gonna be setting up, an option on the phone system that if you wanna inquire about it, they can hit option whatever. And, if they could leave a message and then we get back to them.
Okay.
And then some of them, I think, Justin, as we just made a decision that a couple of them we're just not gonna pursue. There was one that he actually found. The patient was deceased 3 months after the event took place. And this event was years ago.
2022,
Yeah,
they called my high because the person was born in the 30s.
yeah.
Looked her up and saw that she had passed away a few months after our transport, so.
We'll save the stamp.
But
No, we need to keep a track of these. Because there'll come a time that we will have to officially, they're not, and it's not forgiven. We cannot, by state law, we cannot forgive it. We could deem it as uncollectible debt. And that, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so that takes us, unless there's any other comments on it. No. After this batch goes out, you might get some out maybe first part of next week. Some letters go out first part of next week, and then 30 days later, the second letter goes out, and then, it's transferred to the state. All right. Okay. Moving on to new business. New business item number one, we've got a resolution, 2026 number 8, approve the LLA 2025 budget revisions. As you may or may not know, anytime our budget is out by 105% plus or minus, that we have to do budget amendments. I don't recall what we were out, it was like 115.
We were 120, we're 124 on receipts. And we were 120.62 on expenditure. So on the receipt side, if you collect less than 95%, you're required to revise it. If you're greater than 105 in total on expenditures, you're required by state law to revise it.
Okay.
So this is really a housekeeping measure to comply with statutory law.
Okay, and this is, and so this is done, it's an after time for our audit. So
Yes.
we're good with all that. All right. Do you need to present anything?
Yeah, if you don't mind, what
One bit.
there should be 5 of them up there to master. So on the highlighted section, the goal is not to adjust every single line item. The goal is only to adjust those line items that have significant impact. This brings us back to basically 100% on expenditures. I think it's like 99.96 or something to that magnitude. We did make a decision to go ahead and revise line 3 and line 8. Also in the receipts, because we did have such a higher collection of $700,000 approximately in line 3 and 33,000, almost 34,000 in line 8. So basically, the design here is that the legislative auditor allows you to revise or amend your budget after you close your year. So we're complete compliance with legislative auditor. I believe that we adjust as few as line items as necessary because it still has to be a working document for you to use as a tool going forward. So if you adjust every line, you don't know what you're doing going forward. We already know that we're going to have some benefits coming into 2026 where FRS has announced a 3% rate reduction rate effective July 1. So we go from 33.25 to 30.25. Well, that 3% on $2 million worth of wages is about a $30,000 savings for the half of the year and then about $60,000 for next year. So once you approve this with these highlighted areas, then we will present the formal budget after the fact. But I technically need you to approve this tonight before we release it.
Okay. And so that's where we're at. So what we'll need, folks, is now, I do need to ask you was able to work with him on this.
Actually, yeah, I reviewed and we agreed.
Okay, perfect. So we need a motion to accept the resolution 2026 number 8, the approval of the LLA 2025 budget revisions. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve, resolution 2025, budget revision.
Okay, do we have a second? Do we have any further discussion on this? I hear none. All in favor of adopting resolution 2026 number 8, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
I hear none, so the motion carries. All right, thank you, folks. Thank you for Chief for getting this fixed up. Can I keep?
Those are yours.
Okay.
I apologize for the highlight, but that was the easiest way to identify. what we-
That's good.
Works just fine. The next item up is, yet again, my understanding is a housekeeping resolution. Talking with Mark, this is basically, the LLA, Louisiana Legislative Auditor, has made some adjustments in their per diem and millage reimbursement rates.
Basically, it is housekeeping. You're adopting through the LLA the current IRS recommendations for mileage or expense or per diem reimbursements. For those that ever lived under per diem, it changes by venue. So you have a different rate for New Orleans than you would have for, Lacombe from that standpoint. A couple things that are critical to the resolution. One is you have to pre-approve the chief's travel in the board minutes prior to him traveling. So if he goes to the Tahitian Fire Chief Conference and travels, then you would need to pre-approve his flight, his accommodations, things of that nature. If the board were to accompany him on the Tahitian Fire Chief Conference, then that would have to be approved by the board unanimously in the board minutes as well. The chief has the authority to approve all the other travel and expenses under his control. So we believe that this will be part of the 2026 AUP audit. So to avoid a finding, if we adopt this, we're ahead of the game from that standpoint. So this is really a housekeeping to get ahead of a potential audit.
Okay.
So going back on it, could you elaborate a little bit now on chief's travel?
So
How is that defined? Is it an overnight stay? I mean, if he goes to New Orleans, this is.
no, we're talking about travel for an intended purpose where it requires an expense to the district. So if he were to take his personal vehicle to a conference in Mobile, you would reimburse the mileage at roughly 70 and a half, I think, cents is the current rate. If you were to stay at the Hilton while I was there and it was $200 a night, you would do that, whatever the per diem is. But if he's traveling back and forth to Baton Rouge, New Orleans, this doesn't qualify.
Especially if he's in a
District vehicle, correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I typically tell people, if you're looking at an overnight stay, then you're looking at qualifying for this type of LLA exposure.
Is there a time requirement for that? So for example, if you're out of district for 12 hours or more, it'll be.
As long as he's not doing it in his personal vehicle. So if he did a mutual aid response and he was in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, as long as you're in a district vehicle. Now, if he stopped and stayed that night to recover, then you would do a hotel or per diem, things of that nature. But again, this is really more of a housekeeping / common sense. If you're going to a conference, pre-approve the conference.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
That's good.
Smell smoke.
I would assume there's a process if there was an example where it was last minute emergency,
Correct.
some kind of something that would pop up. I'm assuming there's a process.
I'm sure there's a work around everything.
There is. But again, if the fire chiefs conference, say we're in Lake Charles, you're not going to commute daily to Lake Charles and back from here. So you would stay at the conference center and that.
He would pay for it with a department credit card. This is strictly reimbursements.
Correct.
Correct,
Okay, so that makes it easier.
correct.
Okay, so if he's got it.
But you do want to pre-approve his travel from a board level in advance. And all he needs to say is, I've included in the 26 budget, attending this conference, attending that conference. Technically, when you adopt the budget, you've adopted his travel, his planned travel expenditures.
And it's also in there saying exactly how he would be, the value that he would be reimbursed from. So if he goes out and buys a personal deuce and a half and travels in that at 3 miles to the gallon, he's gonna lose money on the reimbursements.
You know, so it's either way.
I'm just curious about something that it's unrelated, but is there a requirement by the state to use a government rate, state government rate when doing lodging or anything like that?
They're using the IRS rates and the IRS per diem schedule, so you can go basically to.
Oh, I understand. So if the rate is $200, it's $200 or less, whatever they can.
Correct.
No,
Do they travel by miles? Is so much per mile?
Again, the mileage only comes into play if he's using his personal vehicle. So, but again, if he was traveling to Lake Charles and everybody was staying at whatever casino down there, if the rate for that casino was 200, but he says, no, I want to stay in the presidential suite and it's 500 a night, you would still only reimburse the 200.
$200, Hotel 6.
Correct. If it was 180, then you would only pay the 180 based on the hotel of choice. And typically they give you a meals reimbursement for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, non-alcohol. So you get say $20 for dinner from that standpoint.
Okay. So, item number 2, resolution 2026, number 9. Do we have a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on it? I hear none, so let's vote all in favor of adopting 2026-9, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none. Excuse me. Next item is another resolution, 2026-10. And it's the approved financial service signatory authority. And essentially, was talking to Hancock Whitney, the investment person that was there. And what we want to do is set up this account for reserve funds. And she got to looking at things and there was outdated information. So she asked us to have this resolution drafted just to update it.
Really another housekeeping measure.
Yeah, basically, but we do actually, I'm going to include Mr. Raymond on this one.
Correct.
Previously, we didn't have the secretary, the treasurer, doing this. But now we want, I guess you're okay with that?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And so, that's the resolution. Simply updating the record. So the changes, they will be 3 people authorized on the account. That'd be myself, Chief Geisler, and Mr. Baptiste will be approved for it. And so we have the motion. Do we have a motion to accept resolution 2026-10?
Yes.
For authority?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on it? I hear none. So all in favor of adopting resolution 2026-10, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed? I hear none, so the motion carries. Michael, you'll have, she needs some others, driver's license.
Yeah, I think.
And there also, you'll need to give copies of your IDs and
Okay.
there's I'll get the email. So matter of fact, I included you on the email.
So I'm leaving town tomorrow. I won't be back until Saturday.
Okay. That would be fine. We can catch the signature, as long as we got to go ahead and open the account. I want to go ahead and move that money as soon as we can, so.
We may even do it digitally now. We may do it digitally.
It is actually, it's eSign. I included you on the email, so check your email.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, next up, next item 4, 2026-11. Resolution to approve additional recognized holidays. I want to turn that over to Chief Geisler.
Yes, sir. So currently we recognize 10 major holidays here at District 3. I think that's a law requirement that at least 10 are recognized, and I've asked the board through our chairman if we could recognize some additional holidays. We used to recognize Martin Luther King Day during my start here, and for some reason, the previous administration decided that we were no longer going to recognize that holiday. And I would also like to recognize Veterans Day. So I think it's important that we recognize both Dr. Martin Luther King and that holiday. And I think it's also important that we recognize the holiday that celebrates our veterans who have fought for our freedom. So I'm asking that we add those additional 2 holidays as our official list in recognition of holidays.
I can comment on it is that, these are all federal holidays. There's nothing that we're developing new, right? So these are all recognized. I think it's, some of the research that I looked up is reasonable that businesses such as this, departments, government agencies have anywhere between 10 and 12, recognized holidays. And I believe this puts us,
You would be at 12, which would be the highest in the parish. The next would be District 1, which is at 11. But then when you compare that to like City of Kenner or St. Bernard, they have 18.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they, you know, that, you know, it's sometimes it's difficult to find the funds to give folks raises, right? And, you know, this is a small way to give something back to the firemen. These are paid holidays. And they get, the new policy is they get paid if they're off, correct?
We are working on that idea, but that hasn't been.
That hasn't been floated out yet, okay?
The only question you would have in this resolution is, do you want to also recognize those that work Martin Luther King since that holiday is passed, or have that be effective for 2027?
Well, that's what's gonna be the pleasure of the board there.
Just so, to clarify what the chairman just actually clarified is, and I believe what you said, Chief, is your current policy is only the people who were on schedule to work that day, or worked that day, not necessarily on scheduled work, so they would work that day, would be paid for their time off, essentially giving them a small bonus for that day. It's not really a bonus because we don't do bonuses, but,
Has the same cost effect.
right.
But I guess the question is, do we go back and
Do we
regulate?
go back to January 1, or do we go forward to
What's the
2027?
pleasure of the board on that?
Go back.
I think we go back.
Go back.
I think we go back to.
The impact is minuscule, considering it's only the people who actually work
And
that.
so, you know, just for the record, there's a lot of head nods, but for the record, do I have anybody that opposes retroactive?
I would just amend the resolution to reflect that.
Yeah. So nobody's opposing that, so let's go ahead and, so we'll have a motion to accept the.
He has the record of those people who.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking my day off tomorrow.
Nope. So we'll go ahead and have a motion to accept resolution 2026-11 as amended.
Right.
Making Martin Luther King Day retroactive. So the guys who did work it get the pay on it. So, okay, so any further discussion on it?
No.
So let's vote all in favor of approving resolution 26-11 as amended. Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none. So the motion is accepted. Next up is we have a compliance questionnaire.
Housekeeping.
Yeah, another housekeeping one. We could elect not to participate in the audit. I guess we do.
Guarantee a finding.
I guess we have that. So essentially, we just need to agree or resolution of 2026-12 to go ahead and participate in the Louisiana Legislative Compliance Audit and Questionnaire. Do we have that motion?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of adopting resolution 2026-12, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none, so we'll need signatures of the treasurer and signatures of the secretary. So. John got that. Then lastly, I think this is just
That's already been covered, number 6.
yeah, so the general comments been done. So that concludes everything. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All opposed, remain seated.
No, it's July.